of this series, the Insight installer has been updated. So right now the installer worked correctly. I didn't need to use any of the code that I showed in the first tutorial. I reinstalled the software, and now if I double click on the Insight VIT icon, what will happen is that the software automatically will launch the Art console window. You should not worry about that. And then it will also show us this window over here saying loading Insight VIT, whatever, the University of Auckland, Department of Statistics. And eventually a new window will pop up over here that will prompt us to launch the software. So you click on Run Insight, the software will launch. Eventually we will get the interface of the program. It will take a few seconds because it is gathering everything that it needs. The software needs to run. Notice, by the way, that in this launch window there is the other options down here. So along with Insight, when you download the software, you will also get a suite of software tools to do other kinds of statistical operations like randomization and sampling variation and things like that. But that's not what we need. We want to visualize data, right? So here it is. So we're ready to get started. So what I'm going to ask you to do is please remember where you downloaded the data. If you downloaded the data from the Insight website, as I told you in the previous video, just remember where you saved it. Otherwise, the data may have come with the software already. So how can you check if the data is already there, right? The data for these exercises. Go to the File menu in the upper left corner, click on Import Data, and then on the File browser window, click on Open, and then this should take you directly to the Insight folder. And if you see a data folder in there, that means that the Insight has already installed the data folder. If that data folder is not there, go to the Insight website and download the data folder, because we are going to use data from here. So I'm going to double click on that, and you'll see that the data folder contains tons of data sets. One of them is called Gapminder. Here it is, Gapminder data. That is the one that we are going to use. But there is also alcohol consumption data that we may use in a future video about time series analysis, meaning line charts. And there are other kinds of data sources over here that we may explore. Movie genres, this is another interesting data set. But for now, let's just load the Gapminder data. So I'm going to click on that, click on OK, and then click on OK again, and the data will load over here. Now I'm going to describe what you're seeing. So the current data set is actually quite simple. It's simply country by country, region by region. You will have the life expectancy, the GDP per capita of each one of these countries, the population of each one of these countries, the year, right, and then the children per woman, which is the fertility rate. Now, the year is a very important variable over here, and this is something that I discussed in a previous lecture. Rather than having the years on the upper portion of the data set, like here on the first row, we have the years as another variable. This is very important. The year is just another variable. So the first set of countries, or the first set of values that you see over here, are basically the values that correspond to this year, to this country. So it's Angola in 1952 had a fertility rate of 6.98. Botswana in 1952 had a life expectancy of 47.4 something, right? Now, if you scroll down, you will see that the year changes, okay? So you have 1952, 1956, 1960. So it's every 4 years we have a new set of data. And the list of countries is basically the same. It's the same countries all the time. So you will see that Angola appears, each one of these countries appears several times on the data set, because it corresponds to this country, this year, that country, this year. Okay, so it's important to remember what the structure of the data set is. It is important to remember that we are seeing data from all these years, from 1952 up to 2008. That is the latest year on the data set. So it takes some time just to scroll down the data, get familiar with the data, and we are going to get started